Hey, gangs tend to have a bogus machismo that it needs to be exposed. I recall I was teaching in Florida at this school where gang members were sentenced by the court to get a high school diploma. And I think that's bad because generally people that are in crime, they have mental problems. They discover that in Los Angeles. So unless their mental illness is cured, they can still be criminals. Because you see, either there's a physiological problem in the brain, or over time they've imbibed false ideas and the perception is warped by the kind of movies and the other associations they have that they don't think straight. Because why would a guy go and push drugs? Where he's going to put the profits? Suppose now the man who he buys from and gives him on credit decides to double what he owed him and say, man, instead of $50, you owe me $1,000, bro. I give you $1,000 in drugs, you better bring it from there. I'm gonna nail you up, man. Next thing you know, man, I didn't get no $1,000. So, that's a big money from 50 to 1,000, fella and shoot him up for real because in his mind he can really believe after a while that he did give him $1,000. And in fact his higher pusher man needs the money and he's trying to make it up. So he just end this low end guy gonna get killed. And so on. I recall I went up to Chicago once and I was inquiring about a certain store. I wanted to buy a computer that was in 9 to 5. And when I pulled up by the store, some guys were standing a little way off. And when they saw me in the car and under the suit and everything, they drew closer. So I was on the phone. One said, hey man, I want to use the phone, bro. Well, of course, you see me using the phone. He's looking for a fight. So I went back into the store and I asked the guy to give a little watch out for me. And he watched outside and I was able to get in the car and took off and got up to Chicago. But we're talking about snitching here. I think that snitching is really alive and well, even amongst gangs, amongst everybody, but they just try to play macho and try to kill you if you snitch and so forth. The whole principle of snitching is this. If you belong to a gang, you're never to say anything about a gang member to get them arrested or any problems with them, you're not to say anything, you need to keep it quiet. But a rival gang, oh yeah, you're free to say what you want. And man, them fellas over there pushing drugs, bro. They control the whole area, man. Don't get them. So when police clear them up, then they have opportunity to expand and so on. So it's okay to snitch on the other gang. Then in some places you live, if you're a foreigner, you can't snitch on anybody that is local. You know what I mean? Snitch on another foreigner, that's cool. And locals, nationals could snitch on a foreigner, that's cool. But if you snitch on one of them, you get killed. And notice that in Puerto Rico here, they will, if you as a foreigner here get into some melee with somebody, they all will come to you knives and you get killed and they just walk up and go no. Police ain't gonna ask nobody anything because nobody ain't gonna say anything. But if you kill one of them, oh man, the police come to your house real quick times and that's you. So this is my finding on snitching. It is just a mechanism to keep the things straight up and keep the hustle real pure. And anytime you're trying to knock the hustle up, the homeboy's going to kill you. But if the competition, the foreigners, the different race too, there's another thing to think. If you snitch on a black person, it's bad. But if you snitch on a white person, it might be good. Vice versa. White person snitch on a white is bad. Snitch on blacks is cool. And so forth. Vice versa and Hispanics and so forth. Because even when I was in LA, in San Francisco, Oakland up there, the guys would be stealing my recyclables and nobody would say anything. Because they will steal from others and they want not anybody to say anything. See? So that's how it is. You got to watch out for yourself and make sure that you look out for yourself, or else you're in some serious problem. But snitching, it happens every day, all the time. And I think though that they should make an anti no snitch law, so that, or the court should work with snitching in the sense that if I see something, I tell the police. I don't necessarily have to go to court because I'm not the one accusing him. Now, I may give the police some information, they will verify it, and they will have other neutral sources of corroborating with what I've said, and therefore I'm off. I might get paid for that, but I'm not no witness to have to go to court because they're not saying that I saw nothing. They went and they look at the evidence they have. They have, his fingerprints, they have his saliva, but they were just helped by, pointing out the ease, the hustle, because they'll find him eventually. Some they have the DNA. Sometime down the road they'll get him, but he'll do other crimes. So the court needs to understand that, when the attorney can call out the guy's name or he lives. You still live in Oakland, where you live, man, and all that. That's setting the guy up to intimidation and to be killed. So he doesn't have to go to court. And I think that would be a big deal. You call him, if a guy shoots somebody out here, you're supposed to get $500 for information on that, and you don't have to show up in court. You just give us the information, we verify it, we arrest him, you get the 500, you're gone. And I think it will cut down on crimes a lot, because somebody always sees something that they're afraid to get beaten up or killed, so that you don't have to. But then, of course, sometimes the police run into that little drug deal, and you have to be careful what you're talking about now, because you might call them and say, hey, this man is a bad man, he got all the drugs dealing out here. You bust them, the cops hustle. So you want to be in some problem. So again, it's a problem. So I don't know if you get wronged, but at least low level things like murder and so on. And then again, maybe a murder because of some drug thing. And again, the cops watching out for this thing. So you make your choices, but some way the state has to work with eliminating criminals and crime by finding a way around the things, and maybe send an anonymous check. I don't know, but snitching is just, as I said, just a mechanism to keep the hustles straight up and pure and together, as opposed to going against the house, as it were.